You are about to watch the legendary story of the Odyssey, one of history's greatest epic adventures, and the unforgettable journey of Odysseus, Ithaca's king. To find his way back to the world of the living, this king must now survive a terrifying descent into a place no living man was ever meant to see, the kingdom of the dead. The crew was sailing blind. They had passed the edge of the known world, leaving their charts behind to follow the cryptic instructions of the sorceress Circe. The sun faded into permanent twilight, the winds died, the ocean went silent, and a heavy, cold mist crawled across the water, swallowing the ship. At the entrance to the underworld, Odysseus stepped onto the dark earth. With a heavy heart, he poured the offerings and performed the blood ritual required to summon the spirits. The earth drank the sacrifice. Suddenly, the shadows stirred. Thousands of silent souls rose from the ground, whispering in voices that chilled the blood of every man present. The voyage had moved past the reach of stars and currents. Odysseus traded the physical dangers of the sea for a direct confrontation with his own mortality. One spirit emerged from the gloom, Tiresias. Though he had been blind in life, he possessed a vision of the future that no living man could hope to match. He offered no comfort to the king of Ithaca. Tiresias revealed that the journey home was only beginning, and it would be defined by relentless suffering. The prophet spoke of a heavy price for his return. Odysseus would reach his shores, but only after every one of his companions had perished, leaving him to arrive entirely alone. Even home offered no sanctuary. Tiresias warned that back in Ithaca, his palace was overrun by strangers who were feasting in his halls, certain that their king was never coming back. Odysseus stood trapped among the shades, realizing that while he fought for his life in the dark, his kingdom was being dismantled piece by piece. Before the prophet vanished, he gave Odysseus one final warning regarding their upcoming arrival at the island of Thrinacia. On that island, the crew would find the sacred cattle belonging to Helios, the sun god. Tiresias was clear. No matter how desperate or starving the men became, they must not touch the animals. If they harmed even one, the last hope of reaching Ithaca would be destroyed for every man aboard the ship. This single warning redefined the rest of the voyage. Odysseus now knew that his survival depended entirely on the discipline of men who were already losing their grip on hope. As Tiresias faded, another spirit drifted closer. It was the face of Odysseus's mother. She had been alive when he left for Troy. Now her spirit revealed that she had died of grief, waiting 20 years for a son who never appeared over the horizon. Odysseus reached out to hold her, but his arms passed through her as if she were smoke. He could see her, but he could never touch her again. The king had spent a decade fighting to return to his family, only to find that even if he reached home, his mother would not be there to see it. As the first light of dawn touched the world above, the spirits vanished. Odysseus hurried his men back to the ship, desperate to put distance between themselves and the land of the dead. They were free of the underworld, but the prophecies were already unfolding. Ahead of them lay the deadly songs of the Sirens, the multi-headed Scylla, and the devouring whirlpool of Charybdis. The escape was temporary. The choices that would decide the fate of every man on the ship had already been set in motion. To be continued in Part 10, final part, the return to Ithaca, Odysseus' final battle to reclaim his kingdom. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to History Stories Dose so you never miss the next chapter of history.